Change is becoming different in general, but adapting is a response. You're adjusting because the environment shifted. For example, a creator who dumps their identity to chase every trend is changing. One who learns new tools but keeps their core is adapting. Are you changing or are you adapting? Or are you just dying off? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy FRE, $ H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's TheFlyBoy. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. And welcome back to another town hall. For those that don't know what town hall is, as you know, I'm part of many different communities. I won't list them all. Black community, travel community, finance community, family community, intellectual community. So every now and then there's a topic that I feel like we should speak on. And so I bring it to the town hall meeting. And that's where we're at right now. This topic is about change, adaptation, or the thought of falling off and disappearing. Through the history of the world, things have always changed. From dinosaurs running the world to humans, from meeting women at the mall to dating in the palm of your hand on Tinder, from the cotton gin to mass industrialization, from the printing press to social media. Life is full of changes. Whether you change, adapt, or die off, now that is all on you. YouTube has changed a lot since I started in 2009, but I've been able to adapt. Again, let me try to break down what I mean by I've been able to adapt. I've been able to learn new tools, keep the core of who I am and what I represent, and adapt and become something that was more evolved, become someone that was more evolved. A lot of people have just changed. Change meaning they followed whatever trend was working. They followed the easy way, even if it meant getting rid of the core of who they were or who they are. Well, who they were. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But those that change will forever change. Those that adapt, well, we stick around and we keep the core of who we are. But then there's another group of people who don't change or adapt and they just disappear. They die off. There used to be something called a YouTube ad apocalypse where a lot of creators were losing making money. And in that time, people began to chase trends and figure out what was going to go viral or what could catch people's attention or what could keep you in the relevancy of the world. Rather than trying to improve themselves by learning new tools, because maybe that took a little bit too much time, maybe that didn't give you the immediate gratification that you may have wanted on YouTube or social media, they just decided to figure out a fast way to get it. And that became their long-term plan. Well, the world is changing again for content creators. It isn't as easy to tell your story as it once was. You have to understand that you can either change your story and say, hey, I'm not going to show this anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. Or you can adapt and become more educated in the way that you deliver what you're trying to deliver. more suave. I learned a long time ago that the best way to market yourself in the world is through the way that the United States has trained its people to market yourselves by, I don't want to say using, I'll say by utilizing the one thing that gains attention at all times while still keeping the core of who you are. And that is men's interaction with women. While and you know, I love sharing. I love sharing sharing the screen when we had these conversations. And the reason why is because while my words will hit deep, false, when people really get it, sometimes I like to be entertaining by showing my life story. I said all the time before. I said, listen, if you want to get traction on a video, and the reason why is because in this world, the United States, the number one economy in the world, made it so that you got to understand that the way you market yourself is by using the United States strategy of sex sells. Now, when I say sex, I don't mean intimacy. When I'm saying sex, I'm talking about the thought of attraction, the thought of, oh man, I want to get that because the women are going to like me in it, or I want to get that because other women will be jealous of what I'm wearing. Even women fall prey to that exact same strategy of selling things through sex. Now you could change and you could try to go full on selling sex with the women dancing and nudity all on the thing with no storyline, or women doing the get ready with me on YouTube. I mean, I know you guys seen all the get ready with me. I've seen women who got 10,000 subscribers in a month simply because they look good and they kept trying on outfits. You can get upset at it and you can change your content where maybe your content was something that you wanted to say, you wanted to tell your story, you wanted to give your message out. And so you could change your content to being, I want to go on a date every time. I want to put this woman on a pedestal and put her in front of you. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Just giving you the different options. You can be one of those people who are like, I can't stand when people put women on there because you're objectifying women. You're all you got is women on your channel, and this is all people want to see. You're trying to entertain the crowd by putting women on there, and you can disappear because you don't want to change. You don't want to go. You don't want to adapt. You don't want to change. You want to stay in the mentality that you had, or you can adapt. You can utilize your personality. You can utilize your thing to do something like tell a story, like the Black Man's Guide, which the baseline of the story is, hey, I want to help you find a way that works for you by showing you the many different ways I move around in different countries, whether it's Colombia, whether it's Ghana, whether it's Toronto, whether it's Cuba, whether it's Dubai, whether it's Brazil. I want to use the guide as the baseline. But what am I going to do? I'm going to show you a lot. I'm going to intertwine it with understanding that if I want to adapt to what society is going to accept while still keeping the core of who I am, I have to show you my interactions with women as I show you, as I give you this guide of hope. Because if I do not, do you know what happens? I disappear. Because I am not willing to change what I stand for in order to keep the attention. Will you change? Will you adapt? Or will you just fade off? There was a lot of people before the internet even happened. I was around when even Yahoo Explorer on Microsoft Explorer. That's before AOL was around. When you finally got a chance to reach the outside world on the internet, on the computer, in your personal house, I was lucky. My grandfather was a accountant. My grandfather was one of the only people, or one of the first people, who had a computer, and I learned how to utilize that computer to reach the outside world without going outside. Although I was an outside person, I used to reach further than just the basketball park in Columbian I used to play in, or I reached further than South Orange Ave when I stayed with my grandmother in North. I was able to reach further because I was willing to adapt to what is to come. I wasn't willing to change who I am or the core principles of who I am, but I was willing to adapt to the environment and what it required for me to be able to tell my story, to be able to inspire people. Because of that, I was able to learn a lot more stuff online, like how to acquire wealth, how to become a millionaire at 35, about 35, how to raise children so that my children, my daughter who's about to be 19 in 2 hours, could graduate on time, live in a great area, in a great city, not have to go through the drugs and the gangs and the stuff I had to go through going to high school in downtown Newark at a beer factory called Science High. Going to Clifford Scott in East Orange, where I had to adapt. I mean, I had to adapt or change to the environment. Everybody dressing with the fancy clothes and stuff. It's inevitable. Change is inevitable, or the adaptation is inevitable, or disappearing is inevitable. It's all on you. Now I'm gonna get to y'all comments now, and then we'll get back to the conversation, y'all. Shout out to Regal Man in the building. What up, Flyboy man? Big salute. You survived. I heard the earthquake in Cali. I'm actually not in Cali yet. I'll be in Cali on I don't know if you guys hear. I'll be in Cali on Saturday. I leave Friday night, go to Bogota. From Bogota, I go to Cali. And again, you have to be willing to adapt. And even with the Cali situation, I had to adapt to what was, going on, because again, rest in peace to all the people who lost their lives. Big hopes to everyone in Cali trying to hold it together through this earthquake. I had to adapt and say, hey, am I going to not go to a place because the event that I wanted to go to is no longer, even though they were struggling, even though they're struggling now and they can use the most help they can now? Or do I just want to change my mind and say, you know what, let me just go somewhere else where I could just enjoy myself? But it wouldn't be sticking to the core of who I am. The core of who I am being a person who doesn't just run away when times get hard. A person who doesn't just let his son go live with his mother because I want to go travel the world. A person who doesn't just allow other people's mindset to determine how they live their life. So I wasn't gonna be able to do that. It's lagging a little bit. Hopefully it's only because I'm on the share screen. So I had to adapt. I had to adapt in order to keep the core of who I was and what I represent. I feel like a lot of, because it's becoming difficult to tell your story, are starting to change. And I've seen it before. I've seen creators. Let me put this on the big screen real quick. I'll get back to this screen. I've seen creators on YouTube start an entire YouTube career doing nothing but showing women, walking up to women on the street, no baseline of a story, but the woman being the main aspect. I've seen creators, and I've been around since 2009. I've seen creators have a whole channel based on trying to grab the attention of women or going to different countries and showing women without a storyline or what you're doing or doing anything. And then when that was hit by YouTube monetization, I seen them change and start to talk bad about the way they was brought, the way they came up, the way they started. They didn't adapt. They changed. And there's nothing wrong with change. There's nothing wrong if you don't want to adapt. There is something wrong to me about giving up. But if that's what you want to do, there's nothing wrong with it. But I've seen a lot of creators change who they were because monetization didn't accept them. Oh my God, no longer going to talk about women. I'm not going to do this anymore. And then go to the extent of talking bad about the creators who are trying to adapt by still showing women, but going more into detail about other stuff. Oh my God, I can't hate this Negro type stuff where all these guys, all you do is you go and you put the glasses on and you go and you sit up in the girl's face. Changing, adapting, dying off. 3 options you have throughout all life. There were a lot of people who didn't want to use the computer. So they said, I'm going to stick to the typewriter. When jobs begin to adapt to the new society and add computers in, and the people who didn't want to learn computers only had typewriting jobs, what do you think happened? They didn't get hired. They lost their source of income. They were forced to either adapt or die off. And a lot of them died off. I think with the current status of the world, especially just speaking on in the travel community, with everything going on, you're going to see a lot of creators die off. Or you're going to see a lot of creators change, like the creators I told you before, who started with stories about women, started with lifestyles about women and about this and this. And you're going to see them flip and do a whole 180 and start going the whole way, the other way, because monetization is going to not get them the money, because they don't want, they want their channel to go grow. They don't want to stick with a part that was part of them and adapt, because that's the hard way to do things. It's very hard to adapt. It's very hard. Changing could be easy. Changing could be easy for most people. Giving up is easy for everybody. Well, for most people too. Some people, it's not easy for me to give up. As a content creator, I'm not the one who's going to point out the people who change. I don't need to. They make it clear that you see the pattern. The first thing is they have all girls in their video, or they have girls or women in the video. The next thing is, I'm not going to put that many women in my video. The next thing is, you know what? I'm going to stop putting women in my video. The next thing is, oh my God, these guys, all they do is put video in their video. They have no concept. The next thing is, you see, these are the guys that need to be going and getting banned from Colombia. These are the guys that need to get banned from Kenya. These are the guys who need to get banned from going to Brazil, because all they do is objectify women. And then sometimes, to make their change more believable, they delete the content that they had, or they private the content that they had that was everything that they're flipping against now. That's not growth. That's not evolution. By definition, that is change. That is not adaptation. And again, there's nothing wrong with change. But I just want to read to you again what ChatGPT says the difference between change and adaptation is. For example, a creator who dumps their identity to chase every trend is changing. One who learns a new tool but keeps their core is adapting. So it's like you can change without adapting, but you can't adapt without some kind of change. Adaptation is targeted. Change is motion. Adaptation is motion with a reason. I'm always going to be that person that moves with reason. I'm always going to be that person that moves with reason, with a purpose. Because if you don't believe in something and you're not willing to fight for something, if you're not willing to garner new tools and abilities, when YouTube Shorts came out, okay, he'll go back to sharing the video, y'all, sharing the things. It wasn't just taught from 2009 when I started. Shorts didn't come out to like 2017 or 2000 and I don't know when. Let me ask when Shorts came out. Hold up. When did YouTube Shorts come out?
YouTube Shorts began as a beta test in India in September 2020. It later launched in the United States in March 2021, and then went.
All right. YouTube just started Shorts in 2021. I didn't like my own stuff. That's crazy. I didn't just know how to do Shorts. I taught myself. I practiced. I adapted. I didn't say, "Oh my God, YouTube Shorts is killing YouTube." You don't see no videos of me complaining about YouTube Shorts is killing long form content. I don't know what YouTube is doing. I just learned how to adapt and create content based on the new medium that was created. When YouTube lives, when did YouTube allow you to go live for the first time?
YouTube first introduced live streaming in April of 2011, starting with a beta feature for certain partners and verified accounts.
When YouTube Live became available for the first time, I didn't complain to say, "Oh my God, everyone is doing lives. This is so whack." It doesn't take you nothing but to hit the camera to do lives. I learned how to do lives. My first live stream outside of video game playing was just me talking about going to Carabana. Look at how it was. I didn't have the screen share. I didn't have where I could share the screen and show you. I had to put the Bumble on my TV. I had to put Bumble on my TV from my phone so that you guys could see what I was looking at while I talked. This is not something, again, this is not something that it was easily done. I had to adapt to the times when things were changing. And as I adapted more and more, as we go back to the lives, my adaptation became to the point where I did a master class on live stream. Shout out to Mentuition, International and Steve for helping me produce this master class by helping me film. But I produced a master class on exactly how you can live stream without changing who you are. And I included the people of the country I was in. Active with the camera, talking to the chat, making sure I'm everybody gets a chance to speak, not just me. Again, it's gonna keep skipping right now, but again, y'all, it's not about change or adaptation or quitting or dying off being better than the other. I'm just clearly showing you the difference because again, I want to keep reading this definition that ChatGPT gave or this example that ChatGPT gave because I think this example is so amazingly correct. A creator who dumps their identity to chase every trend is changing. One who learns new tools but keeps their core is adapting. Change is just motion. Adaptation is motion with a reason. Shout out to Pachelbel in the building. As this next wave of change happens, let me stop sharing. As this next wave of change happens around the world, where a lot of countries are going to, and I don't want to point out it, but a lot of countries are going to change the way or what they allow to be filmed in their country, because they realize the power of media and they realize the power of someone showing what really happens in the country rather than the government having control of what is released to the masses. The power of people who have, and this subscriber count is not really what it is, the power of people who have a message strong enough that when they create a video, they can get 1 million people to watch it. When they create a live, they can get 10 million people to watch it. Regardless if you have 1,000 subscribers or 100,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers, if you can get 1 million people to watch your video for even for a minute, let alone 7 minutes, countries do not want you to show things that happen in their country that a lot of people would say paint them in a bad light. And I rather say that show the true things that happen in that country. Every country has its own rules. The United States still doesn't want that either. You think the United States wanted the Rodney King stuff to be caught on camera? You think the United States wanted the George Floyd stuff to be caught on camera? You think the United States want all these situations that happen with cops to be caught on camera? They don't want that stuff. They got body cams so they can use the camera to maybe show a different angle where it doesn't look as bad, where they can control the narrative a little bit more. But we live in an era now where the public is becoming the judge, prosecutor, and executioner to what really happens when people post their videos. Let me just double check this the stream because I don't know if it's going back and forth real quick. Give me a second, y'all. I just want to check it out, y'all. Just check out the stream real quick. Give me a second. Make sure it's still going good. All right. Give me a second. All right, good. All right, cool. Change versus adaptation, y'all. This year, I feel like with everything that's going on, there's going to be a lot of creators that change. I always said I'm going to do and put out as much content as I can because there's going to be a point where we can't do this anymore. Let me give you guys an example. Drones like this. My fault. Give me a second. I don't know why this is. Drones like this give you an aerial view of places that we can never walk to, that most people never get to. But drones like this right now are also causing massive damage in places like Ukraine, in places like the Middle East, because they're creating drones to be used as weapons. What do you think the law is going to be with drones in the United States? Do you think it's going to stay where any person can go online and purchase one of these that can fly up to where an airplane is at, hit the airplane, and cause the airplane to go down, or that can be triggered, have something on it that can be triggered to explode when it comes in contact with something or somebody? How long do you think they're going to allow you to have drones? I'd give it maybe 5 years before they make big drone policy differences. They've already had laws and stuff. So what have I been doing? Let's share the screen again. Instructions, and I've been shooting drone videos from all around the world. Drone videos from all around the world. Because even before United States, which is more lenient than a lot of other countries, stops drones from being used, other countries that are going to stop you from being able to bring your drone. This is what you call adapting. I was smart enough to understand that change is inevitable. But whether or not you prepare for that change so you are able to adapt, let's read the definition of adapt again. So that you are able to adapt, meaning learn to use new tools, but keep the core of who you are. Unless you do that, you will either have to change, meaning no more drones, no more showing the world from this way, or you have to die off, meaning you didn't plan for it, so now you're stuck with nothing. You didn't buy a drone, you didn't shoot any drones, you didn't shoot enough footage, you didn't have enough video from different places. I've never been one to give up. That's not even an option for me. And I believe in my purpose so much that change was never something I would do. I had to adapt. It's sad out there, man. I watch everybody. I watch a lot of content creators. I almost watch everybody. Some people I don't watch anymore, but for the majority, I watch 99% of the content on YouTube. Not just travel content creators, finance guy. I watch Graham Stephan. I watch I watch Check in Effect. I watch the YouTube creators liaisons when they do that thing. I watch all different things because I want to educate myself more. So when when it's time, when we're not allowed to do it and we have to adapt again in another form, I can know how to adapt. Shout out to AZ Tillin in the building. He says, we need that Cali footage, brother. This is one of the things that I'm still working on adapting to, because I am going to bring you, I'm definitely guaranteed to bring you footage from Cali, video from Cali. When I go to Cali, I'm guaranteed to bring you video from once I get to Cali and I'm able to set my stuff up. I'm guaranteed to bring you live video. The issue is what kind of live video I cannot say yet until I understand the parameters that are set for live streaming while in Cali during this sad time where everything is going on. I feel like I can walk down the street with my camera phone and I can record video so you guys can see, but I have to confirm with my friend Isaac that it is going to be something I can do without people feeling too hurt or something like that. Of course, there's news people out there and stuff, but it's news people from their country. So again, I'm respectful when I go places. So I try to ask people from that country, hey, how do they feel about me recording? And they say, oh, you can record. If you say, you know what, this place, you can record, but this place we go, don't record. That's how I'm going to have to adapt. Now, one thing I did notice is that the place where Petronio Alvarez is being held, they're actually doing a clothing and food drive where people can bring stuff there. So, I went into the store, I brought a lot of stuff, and I'm also giving them a lot of my t-shirts and shorts and some sneakers also. And I'm going to take all of that to where Petronio Alvarez is and bring that to them. I'm hoping I'm able to capture that part because I feel like that part is set up for being able to capture it. So I can show you guys firsthand what is actually being done to support the causes all around Western Colombia, where this earthquake really did a lot of damage. So that's one part I believe I will be able to adapt and film live when I'm in Cali. I also hope that by the time I get there on Saturday, the curfew restriction is eased a little bit, because that will allow me to go more further out. Maybe get a chance to meet up with Andre and Andrea from Love Crossing Borders and ask to see if they're comfortable with telling their story of what happened during the hurricane. I mean, during the earthquake, and maybe even showing the place, their apartment where it got damaged. That would be. I'm gonna try to reach out to Dre to see if he feels comfortable. Again, this is stuff that you have to adapt to. I have to adapt to see if a person feel comfortable after this situation to actually have somebody come interview them and have somebody come show them. Show what the thing is like in first person, versus like doing like over the internet. Because I think when you are up personal with somebody, I think it's more of a heartfelt conversation that can be held versus like I'm just like on the internet and you on the other side of the internet. I feel like there's a lost in emotion there. I also have a couple women who I know live in the areas that got damaged, heavily damaged. I don't know how much I want to risk going to those areas. So maybe I will just have them come up to where I'm at in the north of Cali and tell their story. Because I think you can see everything online, but the individual stories from the people that are going through this now, I feel like that is what I intend to capture. I intend to capture the individual stories of the people going through this right now. But I've seen the YouTube change. Back to the topic. If you're just tuning in, if you're just tuning in, this is Town Hall, and we're talking about change versus adaptation versus giving up. I never thought that there would be a point where I felt the way I feel now, that more content creators are going to be moving towards the change route than the adaptation route, the change or giving up route. Meaning, a lot. I thought this was going to be the year, especially without this earthquake. I thought this was going to be the year where content creators put out the most stuff, where you see the most lives, you see the most edited videos, because I felt like it was either going to be that or all reaction videos. But it's not looking good. It's looking like it's going to go to reaction video route, where everybody is just making a reaction of somebody that actually did step out and do something, step out and see somewhere, step out and show you the outside world. And I think that leaves multiple content creator spaces in a bad place, in a very bad place, from in my perspective. Because if all we're doing is sitting around waiting for somebody else to react, or waiting for somebody to do something so we can react, and then we react into the reaction, and we react into the reaction, and then we react into the reaction. What are we really doing as content creators? What are we really doing? Are we just, I don't know. It's kind of sad to see. Like I said, it's not a good or bad thing. Life is going to change. Life is going to inevitably change. It's just I didn't think it was going to be so many people who just disappeared or gave up or changed from where they started because they didn't want to take the time to learn how to adapt. It's crazy, yo. It is crazy. Again, y'all, you guys got any questions or anything, let me know. I'm gonna check online because the whole thing is we are gonna go live every single day. I actually have to I have to pay for my Starlink again because I turned it off. But from what I've seen, Elon Musk actually sent out a lot of Starlink for people who lost internet connections. Shout out to Habitual Traveler. Elon Musk sent out Starlink to Cali, Colombia for people who lost internet connection because of the earthquake. And I am cautious that that it's going to be very difficult to use to get internet connection I have my router, my Wi-Fi router, but I know the Starlink will guarantee me internet connection. So I'm about to pay $50 to get this internet connection right now from Starlink because I want to be able to share with you guys firsthand the information I learn when I get there. 1 second, y'all. How do I copy this? There you go, copy. All right. It's definitely worth it to stay connected. Yeah, big facts. Again, it's $50 a month. It gives me 100 gigs. I'm not going to use 100 gigs while I'm there. Again, we're going to go to Cali from Saturday. We'll land in Cali Saturday morning. It's like 7 or 8 o'clock. And I'll be there till Wednesday around 11 o'clock. Again, I will go live every day, regardless if I got to use my Starlink or I got to use the Wi-Fi router. I will go live every day to give you an update, boots on the ground from Cali. Once I get to Cali, I will go live every day. Will I be able to take you guys out to on the street? I'm gonna have to adapt and see, y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take you guys out on the street. I gotta adapt and see because I don't know if what the heck? I don't know if I don't know the regulations over there. I've been talking to some people over there, and there is a curfew. That's the only thing I've been able to confirm, that there is a curfew. I also been able to confirm that in the Norfolk Cali by Chippy Choppy Mall, they do have electricity. There wasn't a lot of damage, and that the Airbnb I'm staying in is good. So, and I stayed there last year. So I was able to confirm that also. I was also able to confirm that my driver, Isaac, my friend, will be able to pick me up and take me around different places, which is going to be very good because as you know, Isaac is a black man or from Black International Black, and I feel like if Isaac is driving me around and I'm in the front seat, it's more likely that I won't be looked at as a foreigner in town when I'm with Isaac because Isaac, again, if you don't remember Isaac, you watch the videos, I feel like we could kind of play off as a family or something like that. But again, all right, let me September 11th. I gotta sign on to this orders. I gotta sign on to the Starlink. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna how to do this again. Subscription. There we go. Subscriptions. Go back. Oh, what the heck, man? I gotta figure out how to turn on my subscriptions again on Starlink. My fault, y'all. It's crazy. Let me see. Yeah, definitely habitual. Isaac's definitely number one in Cali, y'all. I gotta also call my what's going on, Tev King? I gotta also call my homie Vlad from Barranquilla because I will be going to Barranquilla after Cali, and there I will be able to move around more and things of that nature. Give me a second. Payments. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do this, y'all, while I'm live, yo. Give me a second so I can set it up. You guys got any questions in the meantime? Again, we'll go an hour. We'll just sit here. We'll chat. I got the message out that you got to learn if you're going to change, you're going to adapt, or you're going to disappear. Me, I plan on adapting. I don't plan on changing who I am and start to tell you guys don't put women on your channel. Not to tell you guys you won't see any more snacks episodes. I'm not going to say that. I'm also not going to say everybody should just start becoming cookie cutter PG-13 content. I'm not going to say that either. So don't worry about that. That's not me. Any further word on Palenque? Spell check. Palenque? No, I didn't go forward on Palenque yet because I feel like if I'm going to hang out with Mentuition, at least 1 or 2 nights in Cartagena, I don't know if I'm going to have the time to do the overnight in Palenque this round trip. I got my Starlink again, and I feel like with that situation, it's going to take a lot more planning. It's going to need a lot more planning because I gotta and I got to go around sometime when there's something going on, like October during the festival they have. I can't just go on a random weekend in Palenque. I think I wouldn't give the best experience. So let me see. Damn, I was about to ask. Let me just ask ChatGPT how I do this. Man. You gotta do it. Of course, of course, of course. All I always do is best for me, y'all. But I try again. What's best for me is, and here's what a lot of people don't understand. This is why it's easier for me to try to adapt than to change or give up. And it's because when I was younger, I just wanted to be successful. I didn't have a plan on what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be successful. Truck driver, real estate, millionaire, don't matter. I just want to be successful. And I realized, like, if I'm a millionaire, if I'm a multimillionaire at the end of my life, but I didn't accomplish anything that gave me proudness on my way there, having all that money wouldn't make a difference. If I smashed all the best looking girls, but I didn't get to know anybody personally and didn't build any bonds, any friendships outside of just smashing when I go to these places, then I would probably be tired of Colombia. I'd probably be one of the people who's saying Colombia is dead right now if I didn't build bond with the people when I went there. If I was too focused on just enjoying myself, or too focused on seeing the views, that I didn't focus on what is a more longer lasting strategy of getting to know the people, getting to know the difference in culture, learning the people's personalities. I think Colombia wouldn't be so fun to me anymore. It wouldn't be so exciting anymore as things change, as hard times come up. But because I was never that person that focused on the material things or material experiences of travel, it never really got to me that a place could ever be boring, especially Colombia. Whether it's Medellin, whether it's Santa Marta, whether it's San Andreas, whether it's Barranquilla, whether it's even out of Colombia, whether it's Dubai, whether it's Brazil, whether it's Canada, because I love sharing the screen when I talk. Sometimes but it's not until you guys, because I know a lot of people haven't been. I got 3,000 videos. There's no way people been able to watch everything I be saying. So I'm going to take it back to somewhere where I know a lot of people didn't watch because it was so early in my career and how I was doing something. Canada stuff, man, because like the interactions makes the experience for me. Oh, let's not start off with this because they're gonna demonetize that part. So let's go here. Let me see if I could, just going places with the people I grew up with. I mean, I love meeting new people on YouTube. I got a lot of people I meet new when I go to Cali. I love meeting new people on YouTube, but having experiences with the people I grew up with my brother or my homies, like it's hard to beat that. So when you see the girl in the background, so when I go to places in Colombia and I get to meet, in Canada, and I get to interact and meet people from all over, like, put the bottle away. That's when that dark liquor was kicking in. It's crazy. It's just, I look back and I'm like, damn, it wasn't the tower that I went to that spins around in Canada that stuck in my head. It wasn't the just watching the festival. It was interactions like this where I got to take pictures and talk to the women and talk to the people. And this other guy who was from Canada had Tupac shirt on, and we went back and forth like, yo, dog, how y'all know Tupac like that in Canada? Y'all like, nah, we listen, we really mess with the American stuff and all that stuff. Like, it's dope, man. Like, it's super dope to have these experiences, y'all. Again, man, like, we both had the Jeeps back. Again, if you focus, I'm talking about you guys, how I learned to adapt. If you focus more on just the sights and stuff, and you focus on just the temporary enjoyment and you don't really network with the people, eventually every country you go to is going to be boring. And guess where you're going to end up? Staying back home saying, hey, why didn't I get married? Why didn't I just stay in the United States? You're going to always end up back in the United States feeling like you wasted your whole life because when you went to these countries, it wasn't about interacting with the people. It was about seeing the sights. It was about just enjoying the parties and things of that nature. But again, y'all, when you get walking down, Ken, let me play this. I'm gonna play the sound of this one. Oh, it's crazy. Listen, this is pop, man. Which this is, but I gotta show. Oh yeah, you know what? I can't. Let me. I can do like this. Oh, the flip. I do, but see, when I edit the videos, it's a little more difficult. You know what I mean? To switch it. Again, y'all, I was just relishing in the moment in Canada with a. I want to say she was Somalian or Ethiopian. I don't remember. I think Ethiopian. I think she was Ethiopian. Yeah, I think she was Ethiopian. And this is back in 2019, y'all. This is back in 2019. I think she was Ethiopian. But again, y'all, like if it wasn't for these experiences, I would be one of the people. I would be one of the people that say, "Yo," I stopped. I don't know why I stopped my fault, y'all. I would be one of the people that say, "Yo, Canada's getting boring. It's getting played out. Let me go somewhere else. I can go back to all these countries and really have a time of my life because the connections I met." And that's why adaptation, that's why I'm able to adapt, rather than give up with all the changes that's happening to brothers going around the world. Rather than trying to change who the core of me is, who I am in the core when I travel around the world and do stuff. Shout out to Cocoa Butter in the building. What up, what up, what up? Shout out to OG Mike. OG Mike, I'll be in Cartagena. Will willing. I'll be in Cartagena in 2 weeks. I'll be in Cartagena. I'm going to be in Cali from this Saturday until Wednesday. And then from Wednesday until of next week, rather, not 2 weeks, next week. Wednesday of next week till Tuesday of the following week, I'll be in Barranquilla, Colombia. So sometime maybe Thursday or Friday, I'll probably get an Airbnb in Cartagena. And my plan is to show you guys on live video how I take the bus from Barranquilla to Cartagena. I want to do that on live video. I haven't seen anybody do that, and I think that was something that would help the people in the future, so I can show them how I go from Barranquilla to Cartagena by way of bus. Yes, OG Mike, I am still going to Cali, Colombia. I have a bunch of bags and stuff, old sneakers like that I don't wear anymore. I got shirts I don't wear anymore. I went to Home Depot. I bought like $100 worth of stuff, flashlights, face masks, gloves, and I'm taking all that to Cali, Colombia when I go. I'm going to go down and I'm going to give that to the people, and then again, I don't know if I'm going to get that on camera, but because it's not about that part is not about camera, but I'll try to go live so you guys can see when I go down to where the Petronio is supposed to be, and do that, but we'll see. I don't know. Oh, excuse me, hold on. Again, even if I go so far as me going to Miami, it's gonna get demonetized, but I don't think this ain't about the view. So even when I go to Miami, it's not, for me, it wasn't about just being an owner in Miami. It was about getting to know Miami's lifestyle, getting to know Miami's culture, because every state, damn near every city in the state has their own culture. And one of the cultures I love the most about Miami when I went down there was the doo-wop, R&B, do your thing parties that headliner with the most popular promoter in Miami, and DJ Fly Guy used to throw. Or they still throw it now, but when I was down there, I was there all the time. Let's vibe out, y'all. Again. Started pretending that I knew you, and you knew me too. And just like a man, you was too shy. But you were the only one, so was I. And I been up to ever since. Now I build up my confidence that the next time you come my way, I know what to say. Can we talk? Yo, man, again, y'all. Again, this is, in my opinion, this is what allows me to adapt, because what I figured out in my perspective of life is about is the interactions with the people you meet around the world, not just in your city, not just in your town, in your state, but whenever you go places. So whenever I go places and people say, "Oh my God, all you do is have women on the show," no, I have everybody on it. It's just that more people like watching the women, so that's what's going to stand out the most. That's what's going to get the most views. But I can go to the Black Man's Guide, which is the most viewed videos on my channel. The Black Man's Guide, not the Black Man's Guides, and I can show you that, yo, I go there and I talk to the people in the community, whether it's women or guys too.
And the mentality seems fast, but it's not fast because Iceland, all life, generation to generation, alimentate only TV.
Again, y'all, it's so easy to change or to give up. The hardest of the three is to adapt. And I didn't think that I was going to see so many creators choose the easier route than try to adapt and show their content in a way where they can still tell the full true story of their content and not have to worry about monetization or not have to worry about people looking at them or calling them passport bros and stuff. I don't know, man. It's sad to see, because again, I didn't know so many people was that way. Shout out to B Witten for joining the membership. Again, I don't really do this to make money. I don't do this at all to make money. A lot of the video, when I play sound like I just played earlier, the video gets demonetized. I wish there was a way that I could make my membership free without worrying about it getting taken down and all the information behind the wall that had to be protected, so people can learn a way to move that's not PG-13. But it is what it is. So again, but I still shout people out when they join the membership, because there is some very important differences in the Black Man's Guide here and the Black Man's Guide to membership. Let's see. One Lonely Traveler said, "I'm upset about this weekend. I was looking forward to this trip. Had little vibe pulling up from Medellin too." Again, one love. I decided to still go, one, because with everybody pulling out of going to Cali, they're going to lose a bunch of income. And this is the time where they need the most income. So that's one reason. Another reason is because, again, I don't go for just a party. I don't go for the festival. I go for the people. The people is what make the festival, not the actual festival, but the people will make the festival, and the people are struggling right now. So if I can go and bring $100 worth of Home Depot stuff that can help them, lots of my clothes that I don't use no more, my sneakers, my shorts, then it makes me feel better. But I also flew out one of my ladies from Barranquilla. She's going from Barranquilla to Cali. She's never been to Cali. I don't like the fact that, unfortunately, this is going to be her first experience in Cali, and it's not going to be as great as it could have been. I'm still going to show her a great time. We're going to go go-kart racing. I'm going to take it to the restaurants. We'll go out to get a massage, to get a regular massage, y'all. Because, we're going to get a regular massage, y'all, together. And we'll just explore the city, and, and it feels good helping other people out. So we'll go together and give stuff to the people at the Petronio Alvarez setup. They got set up to give stuff. But one thing I didn't want to do is miss this opportunity, because what happens if, knock on wood, what happens if something bigger happens next year? You know what I mean? Pause. What happens if next year, another earthquake happens, or the volcano which erupted causes some kind of damage? I don't really want to not take the chances to go somewhere when I have a chance. Now, if they were saying the airport was closed, they're not doing all that stuff, I wouldn't go, but I would just go to Barranquilla. But yeah, I don't want to do that. Yeah. Let me see. We over an hour, y'all. I appreciate everybody for joining the live, man. I just wanted to come on here and try to encourage people to not take the easy route. I mean, I say encourage, not promote, but not take the easy route of just changing who you are, changing your content, because right now things are a little bit tough, or changing, in general, and not giving up, but rather adapt. You know what I mean? I want to see if I can find this clip, which is funny. It's not completely true. Maybe not play it because they might block the whole video. One of my favorite movies of all time is The Players. For How to Be a Player. One of my favorite movies. I appreciate the Habitual Traveler. One of my favorite movies of all time is How to Be a Player. And in How to Be a Player, Bill Bellamy said something in the beginning of the video. He was like, the beginning of the movie, he says, "Do you know why?" And this is probably so untrue, but it sounded good, so I'm going to say it. Do you know why giraffes have long necks? And the guy goes, "Why?" He said, "Well, millions and millions of years ago, giraffe had short necks, and the trees were lower, and everything was lower. But as everything grew, some giraffes decided to adapt, and they, over time and over the generations, they grew long necks, and they was able to reach the foliage and survive. And others didn't reach out their neck and grab the foliage, so they died. So to survive being, to keep the core of who you are, you need to learn how to adapt. Because change or giving up is death. Not physical death, but death of who you are and what you represent and what you stand for. So don't take the easy way of change, and don't take the easy way of giving up. Learn how to adapt. Before I go, I just want to read this statement from ChatGPT one more time, because this was so powerful. I asked ChatGPT, I said, hey, ChatGPT, what is the difference between changing and adapting? ChatGPT said, changing is become different in general, but Adapting is a response. You adjust because the environment shifted. For example, a creator who dumps their identity to chase every trend is changing. But one who learns new tools but keeps their core is adapting. So it's like you can change without adapting, but you can't adapt without some kind of change. You see, adaptation is targeted. Change is just motion. Adaptation is motion with a reason. Move with a purpose, y'all. It's your boy FRE, $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. 2 more days, I'll be on the flight to Bogota. 3 more days, I'll be on the flight to Cali. My condolences to everybody in Cali that lost property, that lost lives, people they love. I know what I'm doing ain't gonna help everybody. Just one guy bringing stuff to y'all, spending money in your economy. But all it takes is one person to make a change. So hopefully I'll be the one person that starts that change. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, y'all.